Innovation plus relevance is equal to impact. Innovation plus relevance is equal to impact. What happens is most of the time you go through life and there's always problems, right? I mean, what about problems there? And the problems exist because there's a deadlock. You can't do this, you don't have money, he doesn't want it, they won't allow you to do it, whatever it is. There's always a deadlock. And a deadlock gets you with a state that's not desirable, and it's a problem. Some people don't even notice it. Some people notice the problem, and then when they see all these problems, they despair, and they get depressed, and they feel really bad. But some people actually look at that and say, every problem becomes an opportunity, right? And you find a way to somehow unlock it. You get out of the constraint and do something about it. And people experiencing that feeling when you look at a problem and you unlock it and you make something happen, it's very empowering. It's very empowering. I mean, you feel so good that becomes a way of life. And then every time you see problems in the world, every problem looks like an opportunity. Every time you try to do something like that, you may fail. It's nothing but trouble, because there's nothing that anything that you want to do, it's always a lot harder, it takes more money, it takes longer, it's hard. But then, that's where the fun is, right? In fact, if you don't want to make any mistake in this world, if you never want to go wrong, what do you think is the best thing to do?
Do nothing.
Do nothing, right? And that's what happens. So what happens is people, you get gun shy, you get hit a couple of times, and then you say, I don't want this. And then you slowly start shrinking more and more and more your world, and your world becomes very small. And then everything looks very scary. And so I think you have to somehow maintain that perspective that when you have this fun, it's okay to lose. I think the way to mentally think about that is, I know some of you probably have young kids, and these days almost every young kid plays soccer. So, the best analogy to remember is when these kids get to be 4 or 5 years old, they just love playing soccer. They just can't wait to get out there on the ground. And they don't really care about the scoring and all. They don't even know what score is, right? But it's only the parents that are worried about all that. In fact, the kid has so much fun kicking the ball in the wrong goal, right? Because they just love playing that game. So I think entrepreneurship is all about being entrepreneurial, because you don't necessarily have to be the entrepreneur, the guy who starts everything. You can be entrepreneurial in whatever you do, whether it's your family, your job, your social work, whatever you do. Entrepreneurial is all about looking for opportunity to make a difference, and taking the lead and giving it a good shot. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, that's okay. You learn something and you move on and you do it again. So what are the characteristics of the entrepreneur? I think primarily two things. Entrepreneurs have to be naive. Naivete is a big part of it. People who know too much don't make good entrepreneurs. Because if you start thinking about everything that can go wrong, I think you'll never get started. Right? Secondly, you have to be an optimist, a born optimist. So most of the entrepreneurs, it doesn't matter how bad things are, you go talk to them and say, hey, what's going on? Say, wow, tomorrow is going to be great. Tomorrow is going to be great, right? So that optimism is very important. And it's not a bad way to live, whether it's true or not. If you feel throughout your life that tomorrow is better than today, that's a great way to live, right?